Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this video we are going to animate this Monty rig to be walking and we're going to be making sure that we start on a contact frame and finish on a contact frame. If you guys have had a look already on the Now page, you should be able to see a little snip from the book The Animator Survival Kit, as well as a quick playblast I did with this earlier on. Both will be able to kind of show you what you need to do. We're going to be doing this across 33 frames, so we've got our frame 101 at the beginning and then we're finishing on frame 133. So I've got everything set up as well, so I've already got my project set up in here. I've brought my Monty rig into here and I've created a save file for this Maya project. Awesome, so we're all ready to go. I'm just going to start by, in fact there is something that I can see here that I don't like, and that's just having that on like this. So I'm just going to make sure that I can see nubs, curves, surfaces and polygons, so that I saw a lot of the skeleton poking out the ends here, which we don't want. And before we get started, really I want to go over this rig a little bit more. So I've got my channel box open and I've got my foot controller, so this will look the same on both the left and the right foot, but on this foot we have, well, on both feet we have a toe roll, which if we grab this we get something a bit like that. We have a ball roll, which will do that, and then a heel roll, which will allow us to do that. I'm not going to go into those. We're going to be using the ball roll, but the toe roll and the heel roll, you guys will be able to go ahead and develop your skills further by using those. As well, we've got our main rig, well, our main controller for this up here, which will just get us being able to jump a bit if we wanted to do that, which we won't be today, but you can see how that might be useful. And then we have this controller, which has our eyes, and we can smooth Monty off. In fact, can we go right the way over to 3? Yeah, so he's now nice and smooth. Gives him a bit more, just makes him look nicer when we're trying to render him out. So we've not only got that, we've got left eye blink, so we can open his eyes wider and shut them completely. And the right eye we can shut completely and make it a bit wider. Might be nice to have them a bit wider for this today, so we're going to do that. Awesome. So we've got that there. Oh, and we also have this controller here, so we can squash and stretch Monty's head a bit. But that seems to not want to do it because we've got it on 3. In fact, we'll just turn that off. We'll turn that back to 1 for now, so that we're not using a load of power. We're trying to do that. There we go. We can smooth it off at the end when we get to rendering or something like that. But for now, we've got this just as we want it. Right. So now we can start getting animating. We want our starting position, which we are going to use this contact frame for. We are going to be finishing. We're going to start with that contact frame and finish on it, so you can see as that kind of loops through here, we get a nice feel for how we're going to have Monty walking. Awesome, so we're going to start with our contact frame. So with him only having legs, it's nice and easy for us to just put him into position. So we're going to grab him out here. We're going to take this ball roll up. That's the wrong foot. We're going to just angle him up. I wonder if there's heel roll. So we could use that heel roll there, which is quite nice. Just bring him out here. Ooh. Take that back down. Could probably bring him a bit lower just to relax him a bit further. Have him a bit more central to where we're going to be putting his feet. put that up to 0. Probably get him a bit further out. We'll turn this hue roll to 0. I'm not too sure I like that as it is. Just rotate it on there. I'll tell you what, I do like it. I'm going to leave it there and bring him down a bit just so we've got his mesh connecting with the 0. We're going to then grab our left foot and bring him back a bit. We can also have a bit of a toe roll. No, we won't use that. We will just use the ball roll. I can push him back a bit further. And then we've got our starting frame there. So we've got a nice starter position. We've got his ball roll on 8. We've got his heel roll on -8. So that's facing up, which is probably quite a good position to have this in. I know I said I wouldn't use these controllers to begin with, but turns out I quite like them. So we've got Monty quite nice in a starter position. So I'm going to grab everything on him and hit S. Now when in fact I'm going to grab everything of him again. I'm going to take him to our last frame. I'm going to hit S again, but this time I don't know why we've got these, so I'm just going to delete those. Press A in the graph editor. But all I want on here now is our translate Z on all of these. Cool. And then I can start to grab these, pull these up. All of these tangents here. Wasn't sure about that. Let's just pull him out. Let's deselect this box. Okay, let's just go for the controllers. And this controller here. And we're just going to pull him to about there. That way we have that same thing on our first frame and on our last frame. And then I'm just going to press S there as well, just to make sure that nothing's changing there. Right, so we have our contact position as well. So that's our right foot contacting with the ground. We're wanting our final frame to be on that point as well, which we've got it here, which is nice. So our midpoint wants to be this contact point. So the leg that's behind, that needs to be contacting the floor here. So it needs to look the opposite of this, really. So what we can do is we can grab this foot, we could turn that to 0, turn the ball up to a ball roll to 8, pull that back here, grab this foot, pull it forward, and then we can change that to 0. And our heel roll to 8, -8. There we go. And then we can push this a little bit more, bring it closer to the ground. There we go. Let's just take that up to 0 as well. There. Bring him closer to the floor here. Awesome. So now what we're getting is a bit of a shimmy across the floor. If we look in our perspective and we watch that, we're getting a very strange kind of walk here, which is fine. That's what we're after at this point. So we have our starting point, our end point, and our midpoint, and I'm quite happy with that at the minute. So we're going to go to our passing point, so the point that these legs pass each other. Right, so you can already see that both are in the air, which is not ideal. So we started with our right foot, so our right foot will still be in contact with the ground. both our ball roll and our heel roll will be 0 at this point, and then so would our translate y. So we've got that happening there, which is just as we want to see it. In fact, while we're doing this, actually, we'll go to our frame 25 and we'll set the same for these here. So then we've got that happening. We could just grab this a little bit more, bring it a bit further down. Beautiful. So we've still got that shimmy, but they're staying closer to the floor now. Let's make sure we've got our right foot, and that's the point we want to be at. Our left foot, actually, we want to pull up a bit, pull back. We probably want to rotate the ball roll. Nope, heel roll. We could push that right up to 10. If that's the case, we'll push our right foot up, right up to -10 as well on our first and last frame. So we're getting a nice sort of nice. So on this frame here, we brought it up a bit. We could bring it probably a little bit more. Push that up a little bit here as well. Set that to 0 actually. I'm not sure I like how that's. Going to change the ball roll to 0 as well. Okay, so nice, and then on our frame 25, we're going to do something very similar with our right foot. I'm going to bring that up, push it back a little bit. Let's 0 these out first. And then I think it was the heel roll that I used, or was it the... Yes, it was the heel roll. Now we're just going to push that up to there. Pushes it foot back a bit. And then we should be getting... So I don't quite like how that foot's coming up there, but we'll sort that out in a minute. So we've got our passing positions now. So we've got our contact 1, our contact 2, and then back to this contact. We've got our pass positioning. In fact, I think with this, let's push this a little bit more. Let's push it back. Let's have this heel roll a bit more. Let's try that on 6. That's a bit more of a natural sort of shape, I think. Nice. So, I'm going to do this down pose here. So our foot should still be in contact with the ground here, as well as both feet should be in contact with the ground still, but we're at our lowest point as well. So I'm going to make sure these are there by grabbing that middle mouse click in and paste in. No, I'm just going to copy this, and when we get to there, I'm going to paste that there as well. So we've got that point there, but what we I don't like that, so I'm going to copy that again, go here and paste it properly. Nice. So now that point's not going to move at all, but we can start to push this a bit with the toe roll. Probably push that up and then bring that down. I'll tell you what, no, we're just going to pull that ball roll up to 10. So over those frames there, just got that happening there, and then when we get to that point, or frame 121 on our other foot, that should be 0, our heel roll should be 0, and then yeah, we're getting a bit of, so I'm just going to play that back. So something's happening here that I'm not too sure about. It's that bit there. So that foot's just coming off of the ground and doing something weird. So we're going to go to this foot now. And over the next few frames we want that to stay put. So I'm going to copy this frame, go to 21 and paste that there. What's happening here? But here we can turn that up. So for the first 5, we've got that happening. Let's get a bit of toe roll. I think what might be going wrong, a little bit wrong here, is the rotate Y. So for both of these, if we look dead on at frame 1, the knees are pointing outwards a bit. That might be why we're getting a bit of, what's that? It's also a bit too far stretched. So what I could do, so that's the 8 on the ball roll there, but we're still coming through the ground. Yeah, I thought, okay. So Monty's body isn't moving at all yet, which I should have been doing from the get-go really. So I'm going to grab his body So we've got our keyframe on 101. At 117, we need his keyframe to be the same. So we're going to put a keyframe there. But in between these frames, so we've got 105, which is going to be a bit of a squash. So we need to bring his, we need to bring him down a little bit. But then on 109, or 113, sorry, he's going to be at his highest point. And then on 121, we can grab this translate Y, Control C, go to 121, paste it there, and then the same on 129. Awesome. So now when we play that back, we should get something a little bit different. We've got a bit, it's a bit much. But now we're not getting that clipping anymore. Cool, so now we could just put that down a bit. Highlight this translate Y. Grab the top ones. Bring these down. Grab the bottom ones. Bring these up, and then let's watch that back again. A bit more natural. And then we've got our walk cycle. Awesome. So we've got a very basic walk cycle there. What I will do, because that's as simple as that can get, I do want to show you a bit of this control here. So we do have our start and end frames set up here. So as I said, we're going to be squashing on 5 and stretching on 13. So on frame 5, we're going to squash down a bit. On frame 13, we're going to pull up a bit. Probably not this much, but when we come to fixing this up, this could be nice. I'm going to grab our translate from here. I'm going to go to frame 121, paste that in there. And then go to this frame, Control C, and then Control V on frame 29. Once we've got those, we can watch that back. Got a very elaborate thing going on there. So I'm going to go a little bit less, push these down a bit, push those up a little bit. And then we've got a bit more of a subtle squash and stretch with our walk. There was something I've just seen here. Yeah. Okay. So if we look at this foot here, it's like going across the floor a bit. So I want to fix that. Which means there's a point where it goes backwards on this, so it's on the translate Z, and that is not what we want at all. Let's set this to, let's copy that, go to this bit here, paste that there, and then just paste that there again. There we are. So we're not going to get that. Oh, we're getting it with the other foot as well. So I'm just going to grab that as well. Go to translate Z. Whatever this value is here, I'm going to grab that and paste it in there. It's very slight, but you can tell that it's happening. I'm going to set 0. Nope. probably just push it back a little bit there. There we go. Awesome. So there's one last thing that I want to do, and that's just to make him blink a little bit. So I'm going to grab this controller here. I'm going to get to about... Let's go to frame 113. I'm going to set a keyframe here. Go to frame 15. I'm going to get him to close both of his eyes. And then back to 17. And they're going to be back open. And they're going to go to 19. Get him to shut them again. And 21. And these are going to be open. Nice and wide for us again. So, we should be getting a very quick blink. Nice. And we've just got a nice simple animated walk. With a bit of squash and stretch. Nice. This isn't clean by any means, but it's just kind of a starting point for this. I'd expect all of you to go a bit further with this and develop it further. So please make sure you do. You can always develop a set for him, maybe personalise his walk a little bit. I don't like this foot here, by the way. But this is some stuff that I'd always fix if I had a little bit more time. Right, so that's the end of this tutorial. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.